Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. This is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video going over lots to cover in this one. We've got the Jetney Fusion starting soon. CvC is live in game. We had promo code drama from last night where promo code wasn't showing up as a menu option for some players. Plarium has officially addressed it, so we can cover that. And everything happening in Raid is going to be covered in this one to keep you in the loop. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so really quick out the gate, I did a video last night. It's my last video on the channel before this one, and we talked about the promo code menu was missing right here for certain users. And at the time of me covering the news, I didn't know exactly what was going on, but I wanted to cover it for you as soon as possible and let you know that some players were experiencing this. So if you saw your promo code menu missing in game, you wouldn't freak out and think it was something happening to your account. Well, it turns out Plarium officially addressed this with an announcement on their official Discord server. And basically, I'm not going to read it word for word for you, but what happened was it was iOS or Apple users. Now, I do have an iPhone, so when I saw people clamoring in the community about promo code menu missing, I fired up my phone and I looked real quick and I was like, wow, this is true. So I got to do a video on this and talk about some of the possibilities that might be causing this. We theory crafted that maybe it was Plarium gonna try to force people to use the PlariumPlay PC client, or that maybe it would just be some sort of bug with the last update and it would get corrected soon and clarified soon. Well, it ended up being option B, and the good news is that the promo codes are going to be staying for all platforms. That ended up just being kind of a false alarm dealing with only Apple devices. Also, the fragment event for Jetney is going to be starting in just a couple days, and really nothing has changed as far as the community views her. Even with the multipliers being revealed, her multipliers are mostly average and not really game-changing, so it's really going to come down to each person's account and how tough the fragment events are. Is it going to be one of those insanely hard ones? Then you're going to see a decent amount of people skip. Is it going to be a pretty reasonable one? Then you'll see a decent amount of people say, why not? I'll go for adding a decent damage dealer to my account. But as of right now, the community consensus is probably like, she's decent, but she's not bringing anything super rare or unique or special, so I wouldn't be worried if skipping her. That would kind of be like the one general consensus if I had to guess right now. Then for the stuff happening in game, we do have CvC that is live right now. So this will be the only CvC you'll have for the next 2 weeks. Your next one will be 14 days from now towards the end of May. And there'll be a couple different 10Xs happening during CvC, which is par for the course, and they always do during CvC. The featured champions will be Harima and Krisk. So definitely a couple really solid champions for sure. Harima is going to be today during day one of CvC, and she is definitely a meta arena DPSer. Probably one of the top 5 DPSers in live arena, and pretty close to that account changer status as far as a legendary. So really, you're going to see a decent amount of high spenders trying to YOLO for the 10X on Harima. But remember, 10Xs for non-Void champions are way less impactful than they are for Void champions, because obviously you have a lot more non-Void legendaries. And then tomorrow, there will be a 10X event for Void Shards featuring Krisk. Now, I don't really need to talk about Krisk. He is one of the best champions in the game, which is reflected on our overall tier list that has Krisk at number 3, right behind Duchess and Siphi as far as overall utility champions in the grand scheme of Raid. So yeah, obviously he's amazing. I don't really need to tell you why. Krisk is good in just all sorts of content within the game. So definitely some really solid champions and some good choices for shard pulls during CvC here with Harima and Krisk. Just keep in mind that you do have the fragment events starting on Thursday. If you are going to be going for the Jetney fragment events, you are going to need to be able to do the Summon Rush and the Champion Chase, most likely, so be careful. And then also keep in mind that we are probably going to be getting a guaranteed Void event at some point in May, either in like a week, 2, 3 weeks. It's got to be coming somewhat soon, we would think. And I did a video recently on the channel saying that I think the most likely candidates for a guaranteed Void Legendary would be Cardio, Baron, and Necrit as my top 3, but obviously I could be wrong, and it could be somebody else. So for the tournaments and events and stuff happening in game, it's all going to be pretty normal, nothing too crazy. You do have some coins here on the Spider tournament. You might want to get to at least 1,000 points. And we actually see a pretty high participation rate. You can see that right now we are already at a 29-30% participation rate, which is really good for a tournament. Usually they're around 10 or 15%. Now, I think this is because the Spider and during CvC and all of that going on, you're going to have more people running the Spider than normal, and they've also got super raids going on right now for the Spider. But as far as the classic arena and the champion training, they're both just perfectly normal. Just kind of stuff happening, really nothing noteworthy to talk about there. But under the events, you do want to make sure you're doing the fusion warm-up every day and checking up top. You see where it says, today you've earned 15 over 15. You are going to be upgrading artifacts to get some points. Basically, if you take anything at least to level 12, you're going to be maxing it out. So remember to upgrade one artifact to level 12 every day, and you'll be good to go. But one thing I do want to touch on, because I talked about super raids earlier with the Spider and all of that, I would not do this during CvC because the way the game works, you don't get bonus points for CvC. So if you're running the Spider today, make sure and not do super raids. Uncheck that box if you are worried about your CvC points, because you get 300 basically on stage 25, whether you have super raids on or not. So be a lot more efficient with your energy versus CvC points if you turn off super raids. And then in the shop, is there anything going on today? These are the worst Soulstone price deals, so that's not gonna be noteworthy. Pack string for Ancients, 20 for 30. A Sacred, not gonna be a good string there. Okay. And then the privilege pack is decent, not great though. Okay, so that's unfortunate. Really nothing to kick off CvC here in terms of a great noteworthy offer. All of this is mostly just for the players trending to at least the high tier of mid or high tier of spending. But while we're here, I do also want to let you know before we head out that there is a new batch of clan quests. So make sure you dive in and take some quests to help your clan out in earning some XP and all that good stuff. Plus, you also want to make sure you are getting your Hydra keys in. I've still got a couple keys here to run before the end of the week because it's going to be resetting at the end of the day. So make sure, don't get lost in the wash of CvC and everything kind of going on here. Make sure and run your Hydra keys if your account's endgame enough to hit the Hydra and all of that. And there we have it. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. Good luck in your CvC matches, and good luck as we head into the Jetney fragment events with everything going on later this week. And let me know where your thoughts are currently with the Jetney fragment event and how you're feeling and all of that. I really like to keep a pulse of the community as best I can. So that'll do it for me on this one. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.